Getting mental reps every time. Instead of making a mistake and then having the coach say, hey, here's what you did wrong, you immediately know that I just missed, and so then you make a mental note to work on that. Instead of, having to teach them that this is the right way. We know the right way. We just got to get reps every single time and start doing it the right way.
In terms of his on-field play, D'Anton, what part of his skill set brings the most to the secondary? What part of his game really
I think it's toughness. He's a big hitter at cornerback. And he's obviously up there in tackles. You don't see how many teams a cornerback in the top, I don't even know, 5 in tackles. And so it's just toughness when at the corner position where he plays the run too. So we have, a lot of times we have, maybe 8 in the box. It's really 9 because Danton's basically a run defender. He can play too, so which is really big for our run game especially.
Is there any part of his game that you're expecting to get even better this year? Is there a certain aspect of the way he plays that you think could really take a jump this season?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, he's a great run defender, but he's been doing really well on pass coverage this whole entire spring. Not just focusing on a guy, but focusing on his zone, because we play a lot of zone defense, and so I think he's got much better at that. And his playmaking ability is going to be really big.
He said one of the main things he's been working on is the ability to make some plays, pick off some passes. Have you seen an improvement in that in terms of just his general approach to that kind of stuff?
Oh, absolutely. That's basically all of our, that's what we all want to do, and so we've all been working on that. Joe has been stressing, interceptions, so obviously that's how we've been playing.
With all the experience in defense, how is that going to manifest itself when you guys get out in the field and start playing games? Do you think it's going to help you against some of these bigger opponents?
Obviously, bigger. I'm not sure what you mean by bigger opponents, but
a tough schedule.
Oh, a tough schedule, absolutely. We're older. We know how it is. We know how the season progresses. We know how to take care of ourselves, and so and I think that's a good thing. Obviously, the older, more veteran guys know how to do it, and so I think that's going to be to our advantage.
Have you thought about who you're going to vote for captain?
No, I haven't.
What do you make of what's going on in schools like Ohio State with these players accused of selling their rings and that sort of thing?
That's obviously very unfortunate. We take pride at Penn State. We're a pretty classy organization, and so basically, I don't really look at it that much.
Right. Even if that was something that was legal for you to sell, like your vertical ring, for example, is that something that you could ever bring yourself to do?
Absolutely not. We'll have that for the rest of our lives. I don't know why you bring it up, but it's their choice.
How big is the injury to Sarah for you guys this year?
It was pretty big. I feel really bad for Pete. He's been battling knees his whole entire career, and so obviously I feel for him. But it's injuries. That kind of stuff happens in football, and that's the kind of stuff you just got to deal with, get over it. And somebody else has got to come in and do just as good a job as Pete has been doing this whole time.
And with Crawford and Lattimore also recovering now, who stepped up at defensive end position?
Sean Stanley, he's been playing great. He's made some big time plays for us, and he's obviously doing really well. So, but inside we have Jordan Hill and Devin, and they're just playing phenomenal right now. And the inside, so the defensive line has played great as a whole, even with those losses. So,
who else has been playing the other spots?
I'm trying to think who's been playing it. I can't even think of it right now.
Speaking of injuries, how is Suke doing coming back from missing all that time?
Suke is doing real well. He says he's at about 85%. He's doing individual drills, and he's been doing some drill 6 type things, but hasn't done any contact. He probably won't do any contact. There's really no need for him to re-injure it before it's fully healed.
So are you and Willis kind of the 2 safeties back there, first team?
Yeah, yes.
And what kind of luxury is that going to be when you get Suke back?
Well, obviously,
to have 3 guys who play.
Yeah, that was the thing. We're going to have 3 guys who've had significant time in the secondary, which is going to be an advantage to the safeties. And so it's going to be big, and we're looking forward to Nick coming back.
And how are things working out at cornerback? Who's where? I know Derek Thomas, it sounds like he's kind of back in the mix. What's going on?
Yeah, we have obviously Danton, Chaz Powell, Morris, and Derek Thomas all playing great. I think Scrap's just been switching them in and out periodically, and so they're doing a good job. And it's a position battle, which is good, only good for that position.
How do you think you guys played as a unit last year?
Obviously we didn't play as good as we wanted to, but I think it comes down to a whole as a defense. If you're not, Obviously, the secondary can get much better. Obviously, the linebackers and defensive line didn't play up to par either. So I think as a whole defensive unit, we're focusing on more than, you know, the secondary didn't do this, the linebackers didn't do this, or the D-line didn't do this. I feel like it's the whole defense's fault. And when you take the responsibility as a unit, I think you grow, and then you're gonna take the rewards as a whole unit also.
Are there certain things you're focusing on as the defense as a whole? I know there was some criticism of tackling last year, that sort of thing.
Obviously tackling, you know, playmaking, and just being a little more aggressive. I felt like we were more passive a little bit last year. Didn't want to get beat, and now we're playing a little more aggressive, trying to make the big plays instead of worrying about getting deep as much.
Unlike in the season, you guys see a lot of the first team offense, and I'm sure second team offense.
Yeah.
How are those receivers looking? Because you lose a couple of veteran guys. I know Derek's back, but there are some new faces there. How are they looking so far?
They're looking great. You know, they're as good of a wide receiving core as any team in the Big Ten. So it's an advantage to us. We get to go up against them every single day, which is great.
This is your final go-round. Can you believe it's here? Has it taken a long time to get here? Has it gone quickly? What's it like?
I feel like while you're in it takes a long time, and then you're here, and you can't believe how fast it really went. So I'm extremely looking forward to this upcoming year, and it's my last go-round, so we got to make the best of it.